Hi, I'm Cora Sherlock Solicitor, and in this video I want to speak a little bit about the costs that you can expect to pay when you're buying your property. So the first cost that you're going to pay is to the solicitor, and that's the professional fee that you agree with them. You'll do that at the beginning of the transaction, and your solicitor is legally obliged to set that out to you so that there's no disagreement later on. So the professional fee paid to your solicitor is subject to 23% VAT, and that's going to have to be added on at this stage. What about then the fees that you'll have to pay to the government? The government will expect you to pay some additional taxes and fees when you are buying a property, and the first one of those is stamp duty. So when it comes to stamp duty, you will have to pay 1% on the first €1,000,000 of the purchase price. If the property goes over €1,000,000 in terms of the purchase price, then the excess will be charged at 2%. So that's the first item due to the government is stamp duty. Now the next thing that they will look for is registration fees. When you buy a property, you have to be registered as the legal owner of the property in the Property Registration Authority, which is the legal authority set up by the government to record land ownership in the country, and they will charge a fee for that. So the fee will depend on the purchase price. Again, it's usually somewhere between €400 and €800 depending on your purchase price. If you have a mortgage, then you also have to pay a fee to have the mortgage registered, and that's €175. If you want a document to show that you are the legal owner of the property, which you will need, you then have to pay another €40 for that document to come out from the Property Registration Authority. So those are all fees that you have to pay, and you can't avoid them. They have to be paid on the closing date to your solicitor, who will then go on, pay the stamp duty to the revenue and pay the registration fees to the Property Registration Authority. Now after that, there are some third-party costs that you need to be aware of, and the first one of those is the planning search fee. Your solicitor will engage a firm of planning searchers to make sure that everything is in order with the property. So what will happen there is the solicitor will pay this firm to check the planning permission is in place, to check that there have been no enforcement orders, to make sure there are no compulsory purchase orders, and that sort of thing. Very important to know for the property, essential to be sure that the property has proper planning permission and everything is in order. And the searchers who carry out that check will charge a fee for their services. There is also a search at the closing date, which the same searchers can carry out, and that is a search to make sure that the vendor is the legal owner of the property, and that they have the only mortgage that they have on the property is one that has been disclosed to your solicitor, and there's no other charge that could cause a problem in terms of you being the owner. So that is a search. They're called closing searches, and they're carried out on the closing date by another law searchers firm, who will also charge a fee for that search. Then the other thing that might crop up is a fee to get some documents signed. Sometimes there are documents that crop up during a purchase, particularly if you're getting a mortgage, and they have to be signed by you in the presence of a solicitor, but that solicitor can't be the person who's acting for you. So it has to be a third-party solicitor who may charge a fee for that, and that fee is usually somewhere around €20 to €40. So those are generally the costs that are involved in buying a property. Obviously some other things can crop up, but your solicitor will advise you of anything that is coming down the line or is causing an additional fee as soon as they know it. So those are the sort of costs that you need to be aware of when you're doing your budget at the beginning, when you're viewing houses, to keep those in mind in terms of what you need to pay. So I hope that's been helpful and useful to you. If you do have any other questions about the buying process, then please feel free to get in touch, and I've put my contact details under this video.